presented by Vyas Media Network.
So today was episode 20 of the Paroma podcast, which is, I guess, a big milestone. And I had the privilege to interview Manose Singh, who is a flute player, part of the iconic Nepali band 1974 AD. And he is also the first Nepali artist to become nominated for a prestigious award, the Grammys. We talked about so many different things, such as being spiritually connected, the importance of listening to my parents, and so much more. And through this episode, I learned so much about myself that I had no idea, as well as the importance of spreading kindness. I hope you enjoy the episode. सुरु गर्दा हुन्छ मनोज अङ्कल
सुरु गरे भइहाल्छ नि बाउ
त्यही त भने Do you remember the first time that you used a flute or a basuri? I don't know what you call it. Is it flute or basuri? Can we clarify that first?
Flute or basuri? Well,
basuri is Nepali.
Nepali the basuri.
And flute is.
Yeah, it's called also murali, but a basuri is the proper Nepali.
The proper Nepali name that you like to go by, Anna?
Of course.
So, what was the first time that you used a basuri?
First time I remember using the basuri is I was born just very close to Bodha Stupa. My house is just in front of main gate, and I remember, अहिले पनि त्यो अब त्यहाँ बाटोतिर बाँसुरी बेच्ने दाइहरूले बाँसुरी बेचिरहेको हुन्छ नि in the stick. So that's probably the first time I got kind of drawn into the sound. And I think one of my cousin was playing it, and then I approached him and got the flute and started playing. That's the first time, I believe. And what amazing is when you the पहिलो चोटी भए पनि it was very natural to me. बुझ्नु मैले बजाउँदाखेरि मिठो साउन्ड निस्केको थियो के बाँसुरीमा. So it somehow
it was your calling almost kind of thing.
It kind of vibe चाहिँ मिल्यो के बुझ्नु बच्चा बेलामै बुझ्नु. It was not forced on me.
So you were Bodha Stupa Mante. Was someone playing it and you really liked the sound, or was it from your cousin?
Yeah, I mean, I think my cousin was playing, and then I felt, wow, I could try as well. तर त्योभन्दा पनि अगाडि I was already drawn to something very mysterious sound.
Yes, I've heard of this. Yes. Sanjay Gupta-sanga. I've listened to that podcast. There's this mysterious sound that you heard when you were 8.
That's right.
And you didn't know what it was.
Yes.
And have you only heard that sound today?
That's the only time I've heard that sound. But त्यो साउन्डले चाहिँ मलाई मोटिभेट गरायो कि त्यो एउटा किसिमको छ नि जुन त्यो क्युरियोसिटी हुन्छ नि. अब कुनै कुरा तिमीले एकदमै राम्रो कुरा देख्यो भने you want to see that thing again, you want to be that thing again. न त्यही जस्तो मलाई त्यो फिलिङले चाहिँ मलाई त्यो क्युरियोसिटीले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ wow, that would be so nice to hear this sound back again भन्ने हिसाबले सुन्दा खोज्दा अनि मैले बाँसुरीको साथ पाएँ.
It's the closest thing that you can associate to that sound, na?
Yes, so far.
And when you play the basuri, or when you heard that sound, when you were 8, what kind of feeling do you get inside of you? Because I feel like music is more than just sound, for you at least, right? It's more than just blowing into the holes of a basuri, then a beautiful noise coming out, right? There's something more that that happens, right? Couldn't you? It's probably hard to describe, but how would you best describe that feeling?
For me, music कस्तो छ भने अब सानोदेखि नै म चाहिँ कस्तो भने अलिकति I was drawn to more mellow music, more something that gave me peace, you know. अब बाँसुरी चाहिँ बाँसुरीमा चाहिँ कस्तो किसिमको आवाज, especially that, you know, when you're playing the very low flute, it has a very calming effect, है. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई बच्चादेखि नै चाहिँ, especially when I heard this haunting bansuri, someone playing, it just paused me. मेरो जुन मान्छे अहिले like just to able to stop your chatter in your mind, you know, बुझेन त्यो आनन्द आउँछ नि एकछिन कस्तो मिठो भन्ने हुन्छ नि. So the sound of bansuri, especially, you know, coming from this hollow reed, यसो हेऱ्यो भने there, it's a very simple instrument only, हैन. बाँसमा 5-6 प्वाल बनाएर it's you just blow on it. It's like it's actually Sanjayसँग पनि कुरा गरेको थिएँ. It was the oldest instrument they have found in human history is a flute.
And right? It was made out of bone, right?
That's right.
Bone,
that's right.
Yep.
That's right. So yeah, music, and then also कस्तो छ भने when you blow on it, it's not just the tone, okay? It's not just a sound. There's a sound, layers of sound can curate it. There is the breath. There is even when you put the finger in the flute, it has a sound, you know. And there is, so all those overtones makes a very unique sound, and which is especially when I've studied Hindustani classical music, Ambroi. So this especially this त्यो structure को music ma, you really play with the silence. You have to, all the notes you make, somehow your grand finale is create that silence even more alive. बुझेन? So yeah, and त्यो बच्चादेखि नै मलाई चाहिँ त्यो I felt the madhur, gentle sound has a much more power than the loud sound. So, and I still believe actually the gentle sound, loving sound can be much more powerful than very heavy sounds.
Yeah, definitely. The power of silence or calmness is sometimes underestimated these days. I know we have our phones, we have our laptops, we have our TVs, we have smartwatches, right? Like every day there's a ding, there's a this, there's a that, there's homework we had to do online.
Yeah,
we're watching YouTube, Netflix, right? And there's a lot of noise, right? And sometimes when you put that all to one side and you feel this sense of calmness or silence, it gives you a sense of like feeling calm and feeling almost re-energized, right? It almost sounds like meditation from my point of view,
so
right?
Nice. May I ask you a question? What makes you calm, Manav? That would be like what is this particular sound that makes you calm?
I honestly don't know. That's a really interesting question, and there are a lot of things that help me, like detox, like exercising, or there are a lot of things that energize me, like talking to people. This is why I love doing this so much. But I genuinely don't know what makes me calm. Sometimes I'm resting on my bed, but there's nothing in particular that makes me calm. What makes you calm?
Well, talking to you makes me calm. Makes me very calm.
No, but it's really interesting. And I think the bansuri is so different to many other instruments, right? Because, for example, if you play a note on the piano, every time that note is going to sound pretty much the same, right? Same with the drums. You hit a snare drum, like it will sound the same, right? But with the bassuri, if you cover the hole in a certain way, or if you blow it a certain way, I feel like there's a different sound that will come out. Is it true?
At some point, it's true. Because the piano, drums, it's the tune is already there. You know, it's already somebody has already tuned the string for you. So you just strike it, the sound gonna make it. Sound is already there. I know. I know. A drum pani, you have to strike it, the sound is there. Tara bansuri you have to blow certain way to make a sound. To make a good sound, you have to blow
A certain way.
Very good way.
Yeah.
So it has the sound, appealing good sound, हैन. So सुरु गर्दा नि अलिकति challenging चाहिँ हुन्छ, हैन. And there's many other instruments that, you know, of course needs a little more attention before it sounds good, you know. But yeah, फरक चाहिँ छ. फरक, and again it's a reed instrument हो नि बाँसुरी, हैन. बाँसुरी भयो, अब we have many other wind reed instrument, saxophoneहरु, सहानाई भयो हाम्रो, trumpetहरु भयो. It's गाएको जस्तो it's close to singing also. So when you sing and playing flute, you almost like singing on it. बुझेन? त्यो कारण yeah, it's a unique instrument.
It definitely is. And when I was like Bata and we would go to music class, they would call it a flute, like we said, and flute, bassuri, same thing. But our flute would be, we would put it in our mouth and there would be the holes at the bottom, and then there'd be a little gap at the top, right? But the first time I saw flute like yours was when you were playing it, or I think my dad showed me a photo of you, and when you were playing it like Shivas or Sege, and I was like, because as a kid I always thought the flutes were like tesari, na. Is that still a flute, or is that different, or it's like flute? It's like a whole family of instruments.
Okay. So Kosto, there's a piccolo. You probably saw the piccolos. Like you're just in the top, you blow on it.
Piccolo भनेर search गर्न मिल्छ. Just so.
The Irish whistle पनि भन्छ
त्यो Irish.
हजुर. अब त्यो स्कुलमा बच्चाहरूलाई चाहिँ you probably got to play the small recorder पनि भन्छ.
Recorder. Yep, that's what they call it. That's right.
Yeah. So that's part of the family, हैन?
It's a yes. Okay.
There we go. That's
piccolo.
Tenny whistle पनि भन्छ त्यसलाई. Tenny whistle. That's right. त्यो हाम्रो Irish, Scottish musicहरुमा एकदम युज गर्छ. Look, Irish flute भनेछ नि त्यहाँ, Irish whistle flute. And it's amazing, के मानव. I remember first time when I was in America, almost 25 years ago. I wasn't part of the festival, music festival, and they invited me to teach bansuri there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's so unique. And especially coming from this part of the world, Himalayas, Nepal, our wave style of playing is so appealing to West. I know. And so I got the invitation to teach in this music festival called Lark in the Morning. And there were like hundreds of people were there, and many workshops. And your Irish flute bio, Baroque flute bio, your tennis field, उनीहरुको पनि workshop थियो के. So I got to learn some music from that part of the world at that time. So anyway, the recorder, tennis whistle. I mean, there's so many layers of different kind of music. You know, if you're learning Western classical music, they have different, you know, flutes that you can, wind instrument you can play. And so नेपालमा चाहिँ हाम्रो बाँसुरी अनि tennis whistle जस्तो मुरली पनि छ है.
तपाईं you prefer to play त्यो बाँसुरी हैन, the one त्यो side.
Yeah, that's म चाहिँ बच्चादेखि नै अब
and they're stuck in this position.
That's right.
There you go.
But I enjoy playing, you know, also like that sometimes. especially the very low your Irish whistle. It's
So, what do you call Isawala Tani? This one is
Bansuri.
This one is Basuri, okay.
And this one is Murali.
Murali, okay. And both are Nepali instruments?
Nepali or India, but this
India
continental, your South Asian, use of course, you listen to all the Hindi movies and they're always Bansuri but a certain region has a different way to express it. Hamro भाषाहरु जस्तै बुझेन कुनै अब नेपालमै पनि musicहरु if you listen from west or east, it has different nuances that makes the music even more interesting. बुझ्यो?
The layers, right? The
layers,
different layers of tone.
Yeah, tone. So it's wonderful.
I mean, like you said before as well, right? You grew up in Bodha.
Hazard.
How big of an impact do you think that was on the person that you are now?
Big. My God. Can you imagine? Just as kosto hunda रहेछ भने like because I was born right in front of this great stupa, and every day of sound of bell and mantra and chanting, and the people who come to pray there, Bodha pani bhayo, Pasupati pani bhayo. Pasupati is also very close. So that's really brought big blessing in my bringing up. किनभने त्यो बिहान गएर मन्दिरमा जाने टिका लगाउने एउटा so even though I'm not very religious person भनौँ
You're not.
Well,
I always thought you were a very religious person. भेट्दाखेरि नि त्यसो vibe आउँछ के
सुन न म religious चाहिँ भन्दिनँ म I could say I'm a spiritual person.
Yeah. Okay.
हैन त्यो चाहिँ अलिकति फरक कुरा हो.
What's the difference for you?
मेरो लागि चाहिँ रिलिजन अब रिलिजियसमा मान्छे एकदम रिलिजियस हुन्छ नि त्यो भयो भने you have really a protocol to do the right thing in the right way हैन यस्तै हुनुपर्छ यस्तै हो तर त्यो रिलिजनबाट रिलिजनलाई रेस्पेक्ट गरेर of course अलिकति if you can be a little open towards it, then you can have a same connection anywhere. So I feel I have grown up to that point. के बुझेन अब मलाई गएर बौद्धमै बसेर स्तूपमा अगाडि ध्यान बस्नुपर्छ भन्ने छैन अब किनभने त्यो it in some ways of course it's a great feeling to be there, but I could find my Bodha inside my heart.
You're not obligated to go there every time. You go there when you feel like it or when you want to, right?
Yeah.
And that almost makes it, I feel like, more powerful, right? I mean, this is a very, I guess, not as good of an example, but there's always when you have this feeling, right, and you're like, oh, I'm going to tidy my room today, I'm going to make it super clean,
yeah.
And then your parents walk by the door and they say, Manose, tidy up your room. I was the garden because I'm doing it for them and not for me, I feel like it's a similar thing here, right? Religion requires a lot of dedication. And I respect a lot of people that follow a religion very with a lot of dedication. For example, a lot of my friends went through Ramadan recently, and I was like, wow, it's amazing what they do. They wake up super early in the morning before the sun rises, which I don't think I've ever done, and they eat food. Then they fast for the whole day.
That's right.
And they're still in class interacting with people, but they're not drinking water either. Khana chhodyo bhutsa, but pani pani chhodna, that's really a step up, right? And then they go home and they eat. And they repeat it all for a month, right? And I have a lot of respect for that, but sometimes you're not doing it for yourself, right? Then it you lose that motivation sometimes. It was kind of all over the place. तर मैले भनेको बुझेँ नि हैन
बुझेँ होइन कस्तो छ भने मानव मैले बुझेअनुसार चाहिँ किनभने एक किसिमको डिसिप्लिन चाहिँ हुनैपर्छ बुझेन टु स्पेसल्ली अब when you are growing up your parents your elders want you to do good होइन अब अनि डिसिप्लिनलाई पनि कसरी इम्पोज गर्ने हो there is a way to do it too I mean of course मैले अब हामी ग्रो अप हुँदाखेरि मेरो आमा बुवाले धेरै माया गर्नुहुन्थ्यो होइन अब तर त्यो how do you learn होइन अब कहिलेकाहीँ अब the parents can be very harsh like you got to do this होइन you need to clean your room it's really messy now होइन तर in our mind it's not it looks fine why you need to be clean so I totally understand you man but कस्तो हुँदो रहेछ भने in a religious practice it's there is a system that we have been following for thousands of years है अब especially तिमीले अब रामदानको कुरा गरिरहेछौ त्यसमा there is some kind of strength on it not that it's forced upon you but when you do it okay I'm going to do it and I have a faith on it भन्ने बित्तिकै म्युजिक पनि थियो म्युजिक पनि थियो म्युजिक अब पहिला म्युजिक भनेको हाम्रो is now it's of course it's music tells the all the feelings of the heart all the it can say so many things it can even describe that cannot be described I know it can be a blank canvas and anybody can come have their own way to receive it and in the pura history mein when the music has the power there is a raginis can get the rain make the fire bring abundance in your life there's so many things the music can do तर एक हिसाबले हेर्ने हो भने it's not just a music it's a frequency of a sound in a right moment like for example there is an opera singer that can sing a very high tone that can break the glass
yes
थाहा छ नि तिमीलाई हैन there is a people who can chant so deep and go in a so deep meditation and they can just be in the icy cold water and nothing touches them right how do you explain that this karan discipline religious discipline it can be good sometime but main point is again it's a personal choice पनि हो हैन त्यो तर मलाई as I am I've seen the world भनौँ न हिसाबले I've traveled all over the world I've seen तर आफ्नोपनको कल्चर स्पेसली नेपालमा हामी यति वेल्थी छौँ कि हाम्रो आफ्नै कुराहरू सो काठमाडौँमा भनौँ न there's so much to learn so much to appreciate there's so much here
there is a lot here
there's so much here
it's so rich and not in terms of like the wealth and the money there it's rich on so many different layers right
yeah I mean I understand we lack of sometime basics I know भनौँ न we don't have a basics healthcare basic अब schooling भनौँ न तर त्यो ठाउँ त छँदैछ तर in a broader picture see what our culture has contributed to the world is so immense it's so big and Buddha जन्मेको देश शिव ले बास गरेको देश है सीता जन्मेको देश र हामीले बुझ्नु and there was so much it's in very and we are so compassionate to each other and loving to each other त्यसकारण मेरो लागि लाग्छ कि मानव this is great what we are doing and what you're doing
I know I 100% agree I tell a lot of people this, but what we're doing right now in the US would not be possible. It would, but I feel like it would be much more difficult because people are nice in the US, but they're very not closed off, but they kind of do their own thing. People get busy, they get caught up, right?
That's right.
Over here, people are so open to everything. They're like, you want to come hang out with me? Come hang out with me. Like, you want to go here? Let's go here. It's so spontaneous, which can be good and bad, double-edged sword. But if you look at the positive side, there are so many things that you can do here that wouldn't be possible like in most other countries, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. And in a way, अब भनौँ न, अब विदेशमा भनौँ, it's true, man, of what you're saying. It's here things are much more accessible, and people seems to be, especially यहाँको हावाई हो कि है, high altitude है. People seems to be easily joyful.
Yeah.
Can be, yeah.
Sometimes, though, like even in Nepal or just, we're all human, but sometimes we can lose sight of that joy,
Oh.
The little thing that should provide us joy, right? त्यो बताउँदाखेरि everything will make you happy,
हजुर.
त्यो like एउटा कागज पायो भने पेपर प्लेन उडाएर फाल्ने, but then now even for me at my age, I'm 16, relatively still young. मलाई कागज दियो भने I'll be like, what do I do with this? It's just like, how do I entertain myself, And sometimes, like you said, right, the silence and the calmness can help us realize the joy that little things provide,
Hazır.
Yeah.
Totally. You are spot on.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is playing the bassuri in a rock band. How does that work? I don't think I've seen it been done anywhere else. Hardcore rock band, and then there's some guy playing a bassuri, but it still fits in.
It fits. Yeah, I just came from rehearsal. I'm used to it. They say, "Hey, mema." Yeah, it's cost. That's why I love Kathmandu so much. किनभने अब मैले जब बाँसुरी स्टार्ट गरेँ नि बजाउँदाखेरि I was so curious कि wow, this instrument can do so many things. Wow, I realized, wow, they're playing in film music. Oh, they're playing folk style. Oh, they're the very Newari tradition. They're playing their own way. My God, I can learn so many things here. So, I can actually play in jazz also, So, I got to meet the boys from 1980, 25 years ago. So this much, it was a Western band, drums, bio, bass, the guitar, electric guitar. So when I got to play with them, something shifted because it was never done before that way. So even though it's a pop rock band, the bansuri le चाहिँ एक किसिमको हाम्रो वेस्टर्न ब्यान्डमा झन् त्यसले झन् हाम्रो आफ्नैपन ल्यायो के बुझेन. So
touch of Nepali.
Exactly. The sound of the bansuri brought people home. Even though it was a Western band.
When you joined or when you met the uncle or how was the band already a thing or was it still in the developing stage?
No, it already was in it. We were I remember being part of the Samji Basu album, and that really featured the bansuri, and the song it is sang in Nepali, also in English as well. There's a 2-part. And that became, it's like a really beautiful, romantic song, And that time, everybody loved it.
And that's, like you said, what the bassuri adds, it's like rock band that been done all the time, but it adds that touch of uniqueness, but also a touch of, like, a touch that people can resonate with,
Exactly. जस्तै त्यो पिञ्जडाको सुगा पिञ्जडाको सुगा Have you listened to it?
सुने छैन म
सुनेछ?
त
You gotta listen.
परेलीमा सुने बस्छु
परेलीमा पिञ्जराको सुगा भन्ने चाहिँ त्यसमा you got to listen to that. It's one of the very popular number. हाम्रो पिञ्जराको सुगामा चाहिँ त्यो बाँसुरीको रिफ र गिटारको दुईटा छ कि कस्तो that's really one of the hits.
And to go home and listen to
it. Yeah, that's really a hit banger. That's right.
So the 1974-80 man, like you were already playing basuri like before, and त्यो कसरी हुन्थ्यो नि पहिला?
त्यो बेला जब मैले बाँसुरी बजाउन सुरु गरेँ हैन, I was with multiple. I was playing with multiple bands, like भनौँ न मेरो आफ्नै solo career पनि थियो हैन. I was doing my own more classical शास्त्रीय संगीत हैन, learning. And I had also semi-classical band that I play with. Sukarma भन्ने sitar, हाम्रो धुर्बस दाई, tabla हाम्रो हमनाथ sir, he already passed. Ani, I was also doing my own kind of fusion. I was just experimenting, like how can I play more? Basically, I could just hang out.
The best, right?
Yeah. So I was experimenting with so many things, and when I came first to play with Send for 80, I thought like, wow, this music is so loud. There's no space for bansuri. It's so loud. But I kept myself there. I keep playing, going to हाम्रो ज्ञानोदय स्कुल थियो नि पहिले यहाँ पुरानो शान्ति भवन हो, त्यहाँ प्र्याक्टिस हुन्थ्यो हाम्रो ब्यान्डको. So त्यहाँ गएर I remember going there, every day practicing. And anyway, so continue and practice and being, motivated with what you believe in what you do. That's really important. First of all, मैले बजाउँदाखेरि म आफूलाई आनन्द आउनु पर्यो नि, आफूले इन्जोय गर्नु पर्यो नि. So that's the key. When you have that call, okay, I'm gonna learn. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ I think you're good.
And the thing, like we talked about it before, right? But the basuri wasn't forced upon you, and that's probably why you enjoy it so much. It's kind of like your calling. You genuinely enjoy it and you want to learn more, right? And that's why.
होइन फेरि कस्तो हुन्छ भने exact मानव, some point like when we are in our age, we just don't know what we want. We just don't know what we are. Because there's so many changes happening, and especially now there's so much choice, people get very confused. जस्तै त्यो भनौँ न अमेरिकामा गएर भनौँ न अहिले पनि स्टोरमा जानु तिमीले अब if you want to buy biscuits, you just want a biscuit, but there is like hundreds of varieties. Confused हुन्छ क्या, त्यो लिने कि त्यो लिने कि त्यो लिने कि त्यो लिने कि त्यो लिने, झन् त्यो मान्छेलाई त्यो option overwhelm भन्छ क्या. Then you just cannot have anything. Later you just ended up buying nothing. Life, exactly. So, and that's where you need, if the right guidance done by your parents or teacher or some friends, they know you what moving you, and they can push you a little bit, and like त्यो डुङ्गा चल्नको लागि अलिकति घचार्नु पर्छ नि. कोही कोहीलाई त्यस्तो पनि चाहिन्छ के. So it's sometimes you have to be in discipline, and the discipline, and then you're on it. Then you're hooked up. You're hooked.
Because it's hard to get the plane to take off, right? But once it takes off, then
you just goes. So if you like that way, exactly. So, Manav, if you want to learn some instrument, that's the way, like also, you need to somehow.
It won't like work out from the start. You learn more.
Consistency is really important. Like if you're going to play 1 minute a day, then you do 1 minute a day, every day. But like fully present every day.
How long do you play for every day?
आजकल चाहिँ अब म त्यति बजाउँदिन हैन तर बजाउने तरिका भने now for me it's like not just the practice. Of course when I do practice I feel really good, I feel like but now I've been doing many things nowadays. I start to sing now. I start playing some guitars. I play some percussion. I start to produce music. So I have kind of expand my palette to compose and write. And so it's been really fun.
When talking to like artists, they tell me that everyone has a different writing process, or like composing process, let's say. You've probably composed too many songs to count, right? But what is your process? How, if someone told you, or like some band came up to you and they're like, we want to create a song, can you compose it for us? How would you do it? What's the step-by-step guide for you?
First of all, like if there is an event that moves you, could be anything. That could be a initiation. For example, something happened in or had happened before, and then you can contemplate in that and write something. Mero like saying, especially writing song nowadays, I like to write on a guitar. I like to write on because it's easy for me somehow.
A guitar.
On a guitar.
How many instruments can you play?
Well, I think I can play flute for sure, bansuri.
That's
for
given,
sure.
and that's.
So I'll go out one. I mean, it's like once you know one instrument very properly, music त त्यही हो नि हैन सबैतिर. So you can play around, and once you get the basics, rhythm and the chords, you can play. You can kind of play all the instrument, like simple style. Okay, अब राम्रो बजाउनलाई त practice गर्नु पर्यो. तर basically, yeah, I could play some piano as well. अनि त्यही हो.
So continuing, sorry I interrupted you there.
I know.
So
and nowadays I have this really interesting instrument called handpan.
Yes, I saw this. The one concert one,
Oh,
it was so nice.
So nice, eh? त्यो instrument I enjoy playing as well. It's a very simple in a way, but I put when I play कस्तो भन्छ त्यतिकै बजाउनु र. That's right.
There we go.
That's me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's good. So त्यतिकै बजाउनु र त्यसलाई भित्रबाट इन्जोय गरेर बजाउनुमा धेरै फरक छ के बुझ्यैन. So I for me is like even it's just a simple one chord, it has to have the feeling. बुझ्यैन. त्यसकारण for me, if you want to play any instrument, you don't have to play like crazy good, like really fast. You can just play something very simple, but with lots of heart and spirit on it. बुझ्यो? Manav.
You have to really believe in it, right?
Believe पनि हो, तर it's like जगाउनु पर्छ के संगीतलाई हाम्रो कस्तो भन्छ जस्तै हामी सरस्वती पूजामा गएर देवतालाई गएर ढोकेर अलिकति मलाई ज्ञान दियो, अलिकति मलाई भन्छ नि. सो इट्स नट द्याट यु कोही मान्छेले एकदमै दामी बजाउला हैन, एकदमै फास्ट बजाउला, तर म्युजिक हुँदैन के त्यो. इट्स जस्ट द नोट्स मात्र हुन्छ. इट्स जस्ट द सर्कस जस्तो हुन्छ कि. यु क्यान प्ले वाउ सो गुड, पर कोही मान्छेले त्यही कुरालाई दुईटा बजाइदिन्छ, इट विल स्टे इन योर हार्ट फर एभर. सो त्यो
when you're performing, I feel like there's always something that you want to convey to your audience, right? There's a message and a meaning, When people come to your concert and then they leave, what do you want them to take away from it? Because like you said, music needs to provoke a feeling, What kind of feeling are you trying to provoke.
For me, especially concert mauni, I want them to feel peace in their heart when they come. Of course, अब घर जाँदाखेरि उनीहरूलाई त्यो रात चाहिँ कस्तो मिठो आनन्दको निन्द्रा लागोस् कि द्याट्स वाट एन्ड अब अस्ति तिमी त्यहाँ पाटन म्युजियममा आएको थियो नि होइन त्यस मैले अब त्यो कन्सर्टमा होल आइडिया वाज to people it was not just the music, the whole how it was put together, how I spoke. सबै कुरामा त्यो म्युजिकै थियो कि एक हिसाबले त्यसमा धेरै कुरा that's why it's called the alchemy of sound and silence. That's why I call that the concert. किनभने music is not just the entertainment. You go listen, होइन? Music can be so much powerful than that. अनि त्यही कुरा मैले अब नेचरमा भन्यो होइन हाम्रो आफ्नै बडीमा भयो. There is a certain kind of music that's govern all of us, our whole nature. So त्यसलाई अलिकति दर्शाएर मैले त्यो कन्सर्ट गरेको. So tell me your experience. How was it for you?
It was amazing. It was really good. Like त्यहाँ बसेर त्यहाँ music सुन्न होइन. It wasn't like a typical concert where you're trying to look at the person perform, and I almost felt like sitting there and closing my eyes and not even listening, but almost feeling that music and feeling every single note and every single rhythm, right? Like really trying to feel that music. I think, like you said, music is not just sound, right? And it's not just noise. Sometimes it can be silent, and there's a whole range in between, right?
That's right. And it was perfect setting, Then pani paryo, it was it's all kind of, it became part of the music in a way, And
there's actually something really funny I wanted to tell you.
Tell me.
When I felt a drop on my head, I think 10-15 minutes into the concert, right? And then you were playing with such passion and such, I don't know, you could just see it in your eyes. I feel like you weren't really smiling or anything, but when you look into your eyes, you can tell that something was happening, right? Like you were really feeling it. Anyways, when I felt that drop, drops like that for like the next 15 to 20 minutes, right? And I almost felt like you were kind of holding off the rain with your music, Eventually, it came pouring down, But I almost felt like you were holding off the rain, and you were like, wait, just 30 minutes, just 1 more hour, please. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then even when it rained, it almost became part of the music, It was like, it all kind of linked together, right?
That's right.
But when you host concerts like that, and it rains and something goes wrong, right? And it's not really in your control. You weren't saying, okay, at 5:30 it'll rain, so this will become part of the experience. That was unplanned, right? It was a problem that was very spontaneous, right? How do you deal with that? Deal like that when you're on stage and all the eyeballs are kind of on you?
It's an interesting question, man. That's the thing. Yeah, about especially, I mean, when I was in the States looking at 500 people there, and then the thunder started, the wind started, all the bells in the temple started to, ring. And I literally, inside me, I felt, wow, can you imagine all this beautiful souls can just get totally drenched with the rain, and they just drink this music. That's what I was like, that's when, in a way, it's beautiful to imagine that, because that's when Lord Krishna played the flute.
When it rained?
Yeah, that could happen.
And all the animals came
yeah, exactly.
Right,
I remember.
Yeah.
So
it's like we were all coming to you.
Anyway, that's a sort of, I was like, wow, this is the thunder is here, the rain is here, and in a way, it was. I didn't feel like it was a. It really felt like a blessing to me because when it didn't kina pani pare ta exact moment after, and it was I already did almost like a 75% of my numbers, and when we decided. When that song came, we dedicated to a late friend of mine who is an amazing guitar player, Sunil. So when I said the song gonna be for Sunil, and then when we chanted Om Manavitikai Uri Cholera,
yep,
I remember
it
was and somebody was telling me Krishna ko party ma Mahadev That was so nice, Is it true actually?
No, but I feel like it almost added like the movie and it's like 3D, so it pops out. This year added like a 4D dimension. Okay, we were feeling the music. Okay? I was like, oh.
That's so great. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
On a more like thing, no, if it didn't rain, let's say, right, we would say, oh yeah, that was a great concert. We performed in Manose Uncle. We didn't perform. Manose Uncle performed and the music was beautiful, right? Now we will create this positive memory of Manose Uncle was playing this beautiful music and it was raining and in the moment, right, if you're standing out in the rain, in thunder, you're gonna like worry and panic and you're like, Chicho bhayo, haina? From what I saw, Manose Uncle, we were all standing around looking at the sky. We were trying to take photos of the thunder. We were actually enjoying the moment, right?
That's so beautiful.
And now we'll remember that forever, right? We won't be like, oh yeah, Manose Uncle performed. It was great. That's it, right? Well, Manose Uncle performed. It was great. It started to rain. The thunder was beautiful. We felt the music. And then there are so many more experiences that were added on, right? And like you said, it was like a blessing in disguise.
That's a blessing. That's really a blessing. And again, I'm inspired to do it again. So when the right time comes, we'll do it again, huh?
We got to time it with the rain.
That's right. Make sure
talk to Mother Nature.
Exactly. Bring more. Maybe in monsoon, man.
Yeah. That concert was beautiful, and although certain things might not have gone the way we planned it, and maybe it went even better, right? What was some of the like adversities that some of the like challenges that you faced when trying to put on a concert like that?
That's a good one. It's like, again, I have all amazing friends who helps me, like Sanjay Amra Banko. He was really inspiring me to do the concert because I haven't performed in Patna Museum for the last 14 years. The last time I did a solo concert was 14 years ago. And I got inspired to do the concert. Oh, let's do it. An oiliko situation, I mean, because of thanks to KGC and other music school here, the music standard has gone so up here now. And especially the Western musical scene, I mean, amazing. There's so many amazing musicians out here. I'm really about concert. There was, Adi was playing amazing guitar. She was so great. She was
amazing. It was so awesome.
And Bizent was playing upright bass. Manose Singh bhayo. I mean, the standard has gone really up. When we were, social media promote small boys in the world. So people really, this was really good thing. Sometimes it's really hard to put together a musician to practice. I'm so busy, traffic. So it's I didn't get much chance to practice with all these guys in a very nicely how I wanted to. So I was a little frustrated in that matter. But it turned out to be good. At the end, and Sanjay was saying, look, you need to just focus on playing music. Now I'm the organizer and you do the things, you just do the music. And I was like, no, I want to be part of that too. I mean, I have a little tendency to do like looking after everything,
It was so amazing.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. Who filmed this?
I don't know. You can't be that good, eh? Can't be that good.
Instagram.
Anyway, look, Prajwal in the keys, Ambro Adi in the guitar, and Pizza in the upright bass, Sanjay playing percussions, and I'm there singing. It was really nice, really nice.
Yes. And everyone is just so mesmerized, everyone's... It was beautiful.
So nice, look. And how the setting was also so beautiful. The हाम्रो पार्टनर म्युजियमको पछाडि त्यहाँ मूर्ति हेर न हाम्रो कस्तो सेटिङ पनि राम्रो भएको थियो नि
सेटिङ राम्रो भएको थियो and the lights were amazing.
Yeah.
You remember when we did that exercise where you would associate colors with sound?
Exactly.
त्यो लाइटको ब्याकग्राउन्ड पनि त्यही कलरमा चेन्ज हुन्थ्यो के and
oh, that's so
we were
good.
like, that's pretty cool.
That's so nice.
Oh
so
man,
nice.
Did you enjoy the concert? Do you enjoy performing like this?
I loved it. I wish I could do it again soon. I hope so.
And I definitely think it'll happen.
And अर्को कुरा के भने audience-मा छ नि, what I loved about it, there was all the generations were there. I know there was, of course, you were there most importantly, and of course, and then of course, go on. मानव होइन अब त्यहाँ कसैले मेरो साथीहरू पनि थियो, मेरो स्टुडेन्टहरू पनि थियो, मेरो गुरुहरू पनि थियो, होइन एकदमै सिनियर जर्नलिस्टहरू पनि थियो.
All the way from kids to the elderly.
Ambassadorहरू, British ambassador, Australian ambassador पनि थिए. हाम्रो के अरे उपमेयर हाम्रो सुनिता डङ्गोलदेखि लिएर होइन अरू I mean there were many amazing people were there.
And it's not people that you would expect to be together, a flute guru and the mayor, and it's like...
I know, and also Russians were there, Ukrainians were there, Sri Lankans were there, like a expat community were there, and
as well as the Nepali community.
Nepal,
and
it was I felt very loved. I felt very loved by Ambro community here. So
people love you. People do love you.
Yeah. Thank you, Manav.
Going back to the challenges, and the one thing I was thinking when you were saying that was the value of time. Okay, I struggle with the same thing with this podcast. And Manose uncle, I think I approached you like a year ago. Podcast garam but our timing never really worked out. Exactly. Finally, we made it happen.
Exactly.
But this happens with so many different people, right? And what I've learned from this and what I learned from your sweet anecdote was that the value of time is so important. Like everyone has a finite amount of time, and the way we use it and the way we spend it is so important, Yes, it's good to rest and take breaks and not move at 1,000 miles per hour, but the time is so precious, right? How do you value your time?
Yeah, it's such a important part of lesson for me. Time is time. I mean, in a way, it's illusion. In a way, it's a fiction. No, the time. Like, how can you measure time? I mean, how can you?
How can you see time?
I can see it. It's a very unusual thing. Somebody, being present. If you're in a room with a teacher, like let's say Einstein in the room, and you're not present,
you're thinking about the football match tonight.
Man, then
The benefit both parties are losing.
Exactly.
If I'm sitting here with you and thinking about the pasta we're gonna have after this, like what's the point?
Theo, so that's where the meditation comes in. Yeah? That's where our culture taught us, Manav, to be present through devotion. Even, I mean, you can go to Bodha and say, "Oh, this is just a murti. Why do I?"
Yeah, it's just a building.
It's just a statue. Yes, it's a dunga. But actually, if you really look at it, it's actually it's a total reflection of you within what inside you. I know.
If you see a stone, then you're a stone. If you see a stone, then you're as dull and as still as a stone.
Exactly. So time pani थियो के तिमीले अब तिमीले बिहान उठेर त्यही 10 minute you can just sleep. Until 10 minute you can totally be present and see, wow, I have this time that which I have. The only thing
which I'll never get back.
And I can be fully present for myself and others, so I can contribute to my community and everyone else in a very, very loving and kindness way. I mean, look, you will be the most successful people in. There's nothing can stop you in the sense, I know. Manav.
Yeah, and people might be watching and thinking that it's easy to do this and it's easy to be in the moment, right? But what I realized is it's actually really difficult because of all the distractions we have these days, right? We have our phones going. It's such a cliche thing these days. Everyone talks about it, right? But it's true. We have our phones, we have our laptops, we have, like I said, communication on our watch, and everything is super instantaneous, right? And people forget to be in the moment sometimes, including me. I'm guilty of it. I'm not saying I'm some guy that meditates and is always present. I'm always thinking about the future, But sometimes that can lead to spiraling as well.
Well, for Manav, if I may ask, do you sometimes go, like, what opens you up inside? What do you go to in front of temple or stupa, or what do you feel like, what opens you inside?
I don't know. I wanted to have this conversation with you because listening to you had said, I think that Sunday, that everyone has their calling to spirituality where they open up and they realize what's truly important to them, right? And maybe I'm still young and I haven't realized it, right?
I've seen, what's the thing? West, I've traveled in the world. I've seen the people like you in your age. I've seen people who's totally connected. And I'm not saying that you're not connected.
No.
But they somehow free to express themselves. And I find that very spiritual. There's no hold back. बुझेन जस्तै अबले भनौँ न मैले देखाएको छु कि मान्छेहरू क्यालिफोर्नियामै भनौँ या रसियामै भनौँ या ब्राजिलमै भनौँ तिम्रो एजको मान्छेहरू they like for example they are learning dance they are doing music they somehow completely forget themselves when they're doing it and you'll say wow what a devotion you know like अब जब यहाँ हामी मन्दिरमा जान्छौँ या गुम्बातिर जान्छौँ मान्छेहरू प्रे गर्छ नि प्रे गर्दाखेरि they forget themselves they are for even for a split a second they are giving their attention that time to beyond somebody really really big no
Yeah.
होइन अब त्यो connection have you have felt? I just wonder.
I don't think I felt it fully, right? I've never felt a connection to any higher power, really, Bandakari. But my parents used to believe they still do, they believed in meditation, and they used to do breathing exercises. And there was one time where every night we would sit for 10 minutes or so, and we would just sit there and we meditate. And at the start, the 10 minutes felt like 1 ghanta, 2 ghanta. I was like, time is but I think by week 2, I felt this like, it's almost like a numbness, but a different kind, this tingling in my fingers. It's so boss like on your knees, right? You stay still for long enough, which my hand shakes. I know my hand shakes when I write. So that's why I don't write much, right? But when doing that for long enough, when I sat there, my hands were still. I felt this numbness. Sometimes they would twitch, but that numbness would go. Then eventually I felt like I was rolling around in nothingness, like,
wow,
like my bum was off the ground, and
wow.
I was like kind of not rolling, but like I was being like cradled and rocked, right? And that's the closest I've ever come, but I never really got into it that much, I don't know. Sometimes I don't really believe in a higher power, sometimes, right? And then sometimes listening to people like you, maybe I'm like, maybe there is a higher power, right? But the one thing I do believe is that if there is a higher power, you know how there are so many different religions we talked about. I believe that they're all linked to the same higher power. It's just we call them and we describe them as different things. But at the end, it's just one entity that we're all worshipping. That is what I...
You're totally right, Manav. Totally right. Higher power भन्दा पनि अब कस्तो हुन्छ भने मेरो अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ अनुसार चाहिँ हैन अब like more you know, you can ask any doctors, any PhDs, multiple PhD person, more they know, more they don't know. More you study, more they don't know.
Because the more answers you get, the more questions you have.
Exactly. So हामी कस्तो छ भने we cannot describe this cup just on the table, हैन अब यस यो त यो कपलाई होल्ड गर्ने चाहिँ टेबल हो नि अनि टेबललाई होल्ड गर्ने चाहिँ के नि यो घरलाई होल्ड गर्ने चाहिँ के नि
the ground
ग्राउन्डलाई होल्ड गर्ने चाहिँ के नि हो हैन so there's so many questions in our life and this question is asked not by you, not just by you, but millions of billions of trillions of people before us and after us gonna ask the same question. Right? Aber that question, the wondering question that what really is, why we are here. हामी किन यहाँ छौँ?
What's our purpose?
हाम्रो के छ? हैन? अब हाम्रो यति हाम्रो जुन 5 वटा सेन्स छ नि त्यति मात्र हो. अब जस्तो भने फटाङ्ग्राले भनौँ न if the what do you call फटाङ्ग्रा इंग्लिशमा?
Grasshopper.
Thank you, brother. Grasshopper. उनीहरूको आँखाले पुरा यो छ नि अल्ट्राभायोलेटहरु पनि देख्छ नि.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this.
अनि हामीले देख्दैन नि.
I've heard science class man देखिरहेको थिएँ हैन. My teacher was saying the retina ma, we have the rods and cones, some people their rods and cones are stronger, very few people, and they can see ultraviolet and they can see all these things and it makes them feel sick, but they can see things that we really cannot.
Exactly.
And they can see, how we have a color spectrum, right? And the wavelengths, right, we can't see beyond that spectrum, there is, but we can't. And it is said that these people can, I don't know how this is true, this is what my teacher said, that they can see beyond that spectrum to like a range of purples and things that they cannot describe in words. Okay?
That's right.
But the closest they can call to it is a purplish kind of thing. It's almost like that.
So that's the point is, हाम्रो human body ma, we are, in a way, we are so limited to experience the whole experience, the full experience. So that's why when we close our eyes, we just put our thought to our breathing and our heartbeat, we go somewhere else that transcend a little bit more than our senses. त्यो त्यहाँ जान खोज्छ कि मेरो बुझे अनुसार चाहिँ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I think it's bring us to the realization that we're not just the Manav is not just a Manav who is here. Manose is not just a Manose who plays the flute. It's way more beyond than that. Aina? Tiमीलाई लाग्दैन त्यस्तो कुरा?
Life is not like binary, question answer. There's so much. It's a spectrum, there's so much more in between. Aina,
they भनौँ न अहिले more computer everything AI भइरहेछ नि अब computerized. They want us to be like that, but it's not going to be. किनभने if we just सबै अब त्यो हिसाब गरेर टक सबै कुरा हुन थाल्यो भने त यो त संसार नै अर्कै भइहाल्यो नि.
I mean, going back to the thing about spirituality and our true, like, what we truly are, which is what we are kind of talking about. I had I wouldn't say argument, but kind of like a rebuttal or a debate kind of thing with my mom. I'm a very sciencey person, so that's why it's very hard for me to believe in spirituality, because it's like biology man je sikhecha, I believe as the truth.
Totally.
And I'm like, how can there be this third eye or this whatnot, I don't remember the exact details of the conversation, and I don't want to quote my mother incorrectly, right? But we're having and she said something that had really stuck out to me. She said that the reason that people like you find it hard to believe in spirituality is because it's so complex that humans cannot truly understand it, right? It's not like biology, man, this cell wall, nucleus, mitochondria. It's not. It's so much more than that. We can't see it. We have to feel it, And for people like me, that's hard to understand, How, for people like me, I'm sure there's a lot of people listening and there's a lot of people out there in general, right? How can we become more connected to spirituality if we're such like, we have to see it to believe it kind of thing? How do we get more spiritually connected?
How do you get more spiritually connected? Well, first of all, you need to listen to your parents.
How come every guest tell me this? Every guest that comes on says, listen to your parents and study hard.
It's up to you to obey or not. First, listen what they have to say. सुन्नु त पर्यो नि, हैन? किन भनिरहेको छ तिम्रो त्यसलाई एनालाइज त गर्नु पर्यो नि, हैन? अब स्पिरिचुअलिटी ल्याउने भन्ने कुरा it's a blessing, okay? तिमी भित्र भक्ति जुन डिभोसन उठ्छ भन्ने कुरा, if you have a choice to have that devoutness inside you or not, what do you choose or not?
The devoutness.
You choose the devoutness, because I know many people who is atheist, and they I feel I'm actually sad for them, because they're like the fruit with no light. बुझेन? त्यो तिमीलाई रिलिजियस हुनुपर्छ, स्पिरिचुअल हुनुपर्छ भन्दा एकदमै त्यो
sacrifice your life to it.
You can be totally spiritual and totally connected just working in the office. Manav can be pure light, pure awareness, just being here doing your interview. बुझेन? The idea of being spiritual, going to पुरा गरेर मन्त्र पढेर यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ, that's the old paradigm जस्तो लाग्छ कि अहिले. Spirituality भनेको can start from just being kind.
Just being kind.
Kind. Just
and
be kind.
cherishing the people around
Exactly.
you in that moment.
Look at their eyes and just be kind. That's where it starts. And then you start to feel that हाम्रो नमस्ते भन्छ नि नमस्ते भनेको के थाहा छ तिमीलाई
हात जोड्ने अनि भन्ने हैन
अनि नमस्तेको अर्थ बुझेको थियो तिमीले छैन नमस्तेको अर्थ हो divine within me recognize divine within you.
Wow. Namaste is so much more deeper than hello, हैन?
Exactly.
अब विदेशीहरुलाई सिकाउँदाखेरि like not like how do you say hello भनेपछि नमस्ते भन्ने हैन, but it's so much more than that. And now I would know, हैन?
Namaste.
The divineness in me recognizes the divineness in you.
You. That means
Wow.
we are हाम्रो यो शरीर त अनित्य हो नि हैन? We can lose this body anytime. No, you can. No, anybody can lose their. हैन? तर शरीरलाई चलाउने शरीरमा हाम्रो जुन पावर दिएको छ त्यो त समथिङ एल्स हो नि हैन? सो म भित्र पनि डिभाइन छ तिमी भित्र पनि डिभाइन छ सबैमा डिभाइन छ त्यो इफ यु किनको फ्रेम जस्तै हो कि once you start to think that, once you start to believe that, the world is everywhere is divine. So beautiful. No?
You have to, like you said, you have to recognize the beauty in the little things, you have to find joy in those little things.
So from now you go to your parents to do Namaste Dad, Namaste
The
Mom.
divineness in me recognizes divineness in you. I'll go back and say that. They'll be like, what did Manose uncle teach you? दाइ पास्ता order भयो दाइ छैन
हैन भइसक्यो लिएर आउनु बाँकी छ
ए
मैले एउटा मनोज दाइको भिडियो भेट्टाएको थिएँ
ए हेरौँ त
यो ठ्याक्क तपाईँले भन्नुभएको पार्ट होला यो
Oh yes. See, in the moment there, like look at the sky. It's so beautiful there, the like the flashing sky. It's beautiful.
Amazing. Camera.
यो इन्स्टाग्राममै थियो
दाइले कसरी भेटाउँछ यार Wow.
My God.
I mean, you're here, and you brought your lovely instruments, Feel like it'll be rude of me not to ask you to play some of your beautiful music so we can not just hear it but feel it,
Thank you,
inside
Mama.
us. Yeah. I mean, first of all, could you just explain all the magic that's going on here?
Look, Manav, this is one of the it's quite large one. This is the bass flute, Mansuri, and there's a smaller one that can go, which will be in the same pitch, but with a higher octave, and this was, very. See, it's made right here in Kathmandu, and it's so simple and so beautiful.
Is it made out of bamboo?
Bamboo.
So the bamboo like अझै hollow out गरेर then you've त्यो holes create गरेर
Exactly. It has to be in the right place.
It has to be, yeah.
Right place, right?
In proportion to the
Exactly.
where you blow it, And all the holes, they look so simple. They're just holes.
They're just the holes.
Right? But when we hear you play it, you're able to manipulate the sound so beautifully just through simple holes.
Should I play?
Of course.
Huh? Any favorite song?
I don't know. Could you play that one we were talking about, the 1974 AD go?
Ah. यस्तै
Wow. It's so shocking to me that you're just blowing into a hole, but you're able to create such beautiful sound.
Thank you,
know,
Manav. Thank you.
it's truly a gift, a talent, but it also shows a lot of dedication and
Yeah.
practice. I think people say, "Wow, you're so gifted, you're so brilliant," but they don't see the dedication, the 6 hours of rehearsal, the all that practice that goes into that. And
Exactly.
I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manav. It's such an honor for me to be with you and Timbro presence. I find you as a you're such a nice friend.
Thank you
And
so
thank you
much.
for asking multiple times. Manoj uncle, आउनुहोस् न and है बल्ल बल्ल मानवले मलाई च्याप्प समात्यो के and I feel like if I leave without I'm going back to
The US.
I'm used to जाँदैछु नि, so I felt like I have to do this before Manav मलाई next time Manavले बोल्दै बोल्दै आइहाल्यो कि म.
Another question that I really wanted to ask you is, I know you're able to manipulate the sound so well. You're able to compose the most beautiful songs, host the most amazing concerts, right? But I'm sure you haven't gotten to this stage without any challenges or adversity, Are there any challenges that you faced in particular, or anything that really didn't go your way in life, but once you started dealing with the actual problem, it actually shaped you into a better person and who you are today?
Yeah, totally. I've been through many challenges. It's, life, you can always, life is a lesson. You learn. I'm still learning. And there's lots of life lesson. And that makes you humble. And music as a teacher, it's a divine, as I see, it's a blessings, and you can learn. Jati sikday ga, jati dubday ga, jati sikyo, tati you feel humble. अब मेरो लागि चाहिँ अब whenever I am in a place of hard time or hard feeling, it's music is always there and helps me to not
Stray too far.
Yeah, stray too far. And
Stay in the moment.
Exactly, Manav. It's because there's always challenges gonna come in your life. We're wanting without knowing, or with it. There's many teachers comes to you and say, "There you are. Now face this. What are you gonna do now?" That's and in a way, actually, those challenges are blessings. Because it gives you an opportunity to, wow, what do I do now? What do I have? Who do I have? What is who I am? The question, Manav, I'm sure it will come to your life as well, and many of us, and it's going to multiple time, and it'll just tell, okay, wow. And again, I want to bring back that moment, the devotion, the spiritual recognition you have for yourself, all gonna help you tremendously. Not just you, your family, your parents, your brothers, your friends, and they'll see a glow in your eyes and say, "Wow, Manav, thank you for helping me." So, yeah, definitely.
And the fact that, we were talking about being spiritually connected, and you were talking about the glow in your eyes and this feeling of divineness, right? But that doesn't come without you facing so many challenges in the world that you overcome, and through those you're actually learning who you truly are right now. And spirituality, I think, correct me if I'm wrong because you know more about this than me, but I feel like it doesn't look the same for everyone. Your version of spirituality and my version of spirituality may be very different.
Very different.
But as long as it fulfills us inside and makes us feel even more divine than we already are, then I feel like then it's working.
Yeah. Well, again, again, it's coming back, you're waking up 5 a.m. and doing your mantras for 100 times, and then come to your office and being not nice to your colleague.
What's the point?
What's the point?
It's not working.
Exactly. So it's, again, coming back to religious, sometimes people can get very
Hung up.
And that aspect of, and in the world, there's lots of, what's going on in the world, because that's the ego of religion and ego of identity. Like, I am, this is, and who I am, and this is it, and everything else is wrong. That's what makes the disagreement, and people create war, and we have to create harmony. We have to create belief. We have to create trust in each other, so we can build our community. Especially अब हाम्रो देशमा भनौँ न, हाम्रो यो this beautiful country we have, we can make this community even more prosperous, and I think it's coming. I know there's, you don't see in the surface what's going on, but in the deeper level, I think Nepal, I think it's the big changes are coming in a very positive way. I feel that.
And yeah, and you brought up a very interesting point about like war and conflict, right? And there's so much of that going on in the world these days, and sometimes with that we end up reading the news, and then we end up worrying about the future. We forget to stay present, right? And yes, we should cherish what we have, but moments like these don't make us feel good, right? However, in these moments you tend to get caught up in your own life, and you try and protect it in any way you can, right? But somehow you're able to protect yourself and the people you love, but also share this kind of like a lot of empathy that you have, right? Where does all this empathy come from? Like, I can just, like, whenever I'm talking to you on the mic, off the mic, backstage, or when you're talking to the crowd on stage, or I don't know what it is, but you can connect with almost anyone on a personal level. How do you think you do that? How do you do that? I want to know. I want to do that.
You are doing it, Manav. It's I don't know. I mean, it's again, it's the start with, I think, the being kind to yourself. First, you need to be kind to yourself. And afulai, when many people had that, if you look at it, people first, they don't really see who they are, and they are not kind to themselves. So if you are not kind to themselves, you cannot kind to others. So you have to start being kind to yourself. I know. Being kind, being loving. And that's where it starts. When I play the music, when I even play one note or two, I'm putting kindness and loving inside the flute. And what resonates from the music is you're listening and you'll feel loved. बुझेन तिमीले त्यो खानामा या बनाएको खानामा तिमीले पानीमा त्यसमा एनर्जी लेभल तिमीले त्यसमा भक्ति प्रेम राखेर तिमीलाई दिएछ भने त्यसको तिमीले जाँदा खाँदाखेरि त्यो एनर्जी तिमीले लिने हो के बुझेन त्यसकारण it's I think my secret of being connected to other people is the intention of kindness.
And I 100% agree, and I think that's what motivates me to be kind in the moments that I am kind to people, because I truly believe that if you're kind out of the true willingness of your heart, not for any selfish gain, you're just kind, it will find a way to come back to you. It might not be in a form that you realize, but there was a lot of time where I was really kind, but I felt like that kindness was being manipulated and being taken advantage of sometimes, right? But I realized that eventually it comes back to you in it's so much greater than you would ever expect it to be. Like you don't expect that kind of kindness, but it does come, you know?
Totally.
Whatever you give into the world, you will always get back. It's like the statue thing, right? If you only see a rock or a statue,
Exactly.
then all you are is a statue that's still.
And the act of kindness you're doing it is not to like, okay, I'm gonna
Get it back. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's because you're just kind.
Exactly.
You know, you're
not
nature.
Exactly. True
That's
kindness is like, it has to be true kindness.
Exactly. And
You
it's
can't- yeah.
and that's the superpower, I tell you. That's where you have opportunity to change others. you
And
know?
I don't know about you, but whenever I'm kind to people, I feel good myself, you know, like whenever I'm kind to other people, it makes me feel good, you know.
That's
it's like,
right,
oh, I
that's
helped that person. I help them do their math homework, or I help them, I don't know what I would help people with, but
Exactly.
exactly, like,
They say if you want to be happy, help others.
exactly.
I know.
One last question before we go, because I know you're busy and your time is very precious. My target audience for this podcast is the younger generation, right? And I want this podcast to be a platform for people to express themselves, but also for the audience to realize that bad things will happen in life, good things will happen in life, right? But you need both to balance out life, right? And people are going to experience bad days all the time. Bad days, bad weeks, bad months, bad years, right? It will happen, it will come. But there will also be good days, months, and years. What advice do you have for the younger generation to deal with the roller coaster of life?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I worry about younger generation because, you know, the social media and you know, it's overwhelming how it manipulates our nature, and it's kind of governs our mental health. I know. God, so I want the younger generation to rise above all of that. I want you to be real. I want you to be you. I want you to be pure as you are. You know, I want you to be independent by you. I want the manav that nobody has influenced you. I want to manav. And I want each young people to be themselves. You can get inspired with others, but be yourself. Be who you are. You know, that's the opportunity this life is giving you. You may have living the same life for eons. You know, you may have come, you know, this conversation we may have had many, many times. It's a possibility, no?
Yeah.
Anything is possible in this realm. So I see, especially हाम्रो अहिले नेपालको युथहरू भनौँ न, अब यहाँको, I mean, there is many levels of education here, होइन? What kind of education you're getting? What kind of education you truly are getting? होइन? तिमीले पुरा एउटा अङ्ग्रेजी किताब मजाले पढ्न सक्छौ तर घरको आमालाई दाल भात पकाउन सक्दैन भने what that point of that अङ्ग्रेजी किताब? होइन? So I want a young generation to learn from our culture, value our culture.
Stay true to ourselves.
Exactly. Stay true to ourselves. Learn from different culture. Respect each other. And be kind to yourself. That's where you begin. First, you be kind to yourself. See and understand the true beauty, who you are. Because that's what I did. Okay? I mean, when I was 16, 17, somehow I got blessed. And I knew this is what I want and this is what I'm going to stick into. I'm going to hold this instrument and this is it. And it was very clear to me. And so I think, of course, there's so much pressure to go good in the school, go to, I know,
big colleges,
get a good job,
everything.
And nothing matters. Only thing is matters, Manav, is love. Nothing. If you can love your parents and look at their eyes, look, even though I'm the greatest doctor or engineer in the world, I don't have a good relationship with your dad, mom. It doesn't mean anything.
And money cannot buy that.
Exactly.
No matter how much money you make as a wealthy engineer, you cannot buy love with your parents.
Exactly. So I want every young people to truly love, understand the meaning of love.
And the value, right?
The value of love.
Yeah.
Exactly. And त्यो गर्यो भने wow. Manav. Everybody should be in a Manav's podcast. Maybe you should bring your dad and mom for a podcast, no?
I think I will. I will
it'll be a very interesting conversation.
It will.
I think that'll
interesting
be great.
Dynamic as well.
I would like to hear that.
Yeah, I think my dad is planning something big. I don't want to say anything because
something big.
Yeah, but I think during that time I will interview. So stay tuned for that, and thank you so much, Manose uncle, for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Yeah. Okay. Namaste.
The divineness in me sees the divineness in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Presented by Vyas Media Network.